Welcome to day 22 of the Negativity Fast Positivity Feast. Today, I am excited to share with you about soaking prayer. I actually need to do this more. I'll talk about that in just a second. You know, our measure of faith will increase in proportion to the revelation we have of God's character, His love, and His promises towards us. We really need to let this truth sink deep within us. It will help us avoid the trap of trying to work up our faith. That's something I used to do a lot of, and I got really tired. We just can't do it on our own strength. God never intended for us to. He gives us a measure of faith, and He helps it grow within us. The goal of this module, which is our beliefs about God, is to help us have a more accurate view of who God is. I'm going to share with you today an excerpt from a blog entry written by Steve Backlund's wife, Wendy, and it's on the subject of soaking prayer. She goes on to say, soaking prayer is based on a belief system that God is supernatural and desires to relate to His children in supernatural ways. Soaking prayer is about receiving supernatural impartation, revelation, and visions. This is a time of intimacy with God. It's not necessarily a time of correction or self-examination. He desires a time to love on us and strengthen us with His presence. The goal is to allow God to speak to us spirit to spirit, not necessarily intellect. There should be no striving or begging for Him to come. By faith, believe that as you sit in His presence, He is there. Receive. Just like you go to a gas station or filling station to put fuel in your vehicle, the car just receives the fuel. So as we sit in God's presence and choose just be open to receive what He has to give, which is so valuable. Whether you see or hear something is not necessarily important. By faith, believe that you are soaking up the substance of His glory. Worship is a gateway into His presence. As you worship, feel free to use your sanctified imagination to visualize the throne room, heaven, the unseen realm. Don't be afraid. This is an area that I have really wrestled with over the years, and I'm not completely free in. I'm getting there. I'm way better. I had this deep-seated idea that if I allowed myself to imagine, that I would imagine something, that the enemy would hijack my imagination. And so I have been, for many years, I was very stunted in my imagination. And some of you might be able to relate to that. It was not, I don't know that it was ever actually said out of anyone's mouth, but I somehow obtained the belief that it was wrong to imagine because the enemy would have a heyday with my imagination. And it really did hinder my creativity and my ability to engage with God, because I just would not let myself go there. Thank you, Lord, that He is setting me free in that area, and I just declare that He's going to set you free too if you're one of those. Okay, let's go back to worship is a gateway into His presence. As you worship, feel free to use your sanctified imagination to visualize. It's okay to visualize. It's okay. Allow yourself to go with whatever it is, that any vision or thought that is from the unseen realm of God's kingdom. You might be pleasantly surprised. You know, often we unconsciously limit God, and that's what I've done, from speaking to us because we are straining to hear words. I've struggled with this one too. Just sitting quietly is key for building a relationship with God. While we are waiting on Him to speak to our minds, He's waiting for an opportunity to speak to our hearts, to go deeper than just this. Our highest call is not to teach about God, but to reveal Him. Unless we experience His presence, our relationship becomes head knowledge rather than experiential. All right, let's talk about the lie that we're fasting today. And the lie we're fasting today is God will not come unless I strive, beg, and plead for His presence. This is so not true, and this is such a lie. Today's truth that we're feasting is God is supernatural and desires to relate to me in supernatural ways. Soak on that truth for a while. Okay. How do we apply this? You know, when we're not still, when we won't allow ourselves to be still and to be quiet, we feed on things that can lead to increased negativity in our lives. And who wants? I don't want more negativity, do you? Here's some things to consider. Decrease. Have less of. Feeding yourself on, say, world news, local news, TV in general, TV entertainment, social media, internet surfing. I'm not saying you have to cut it totally out, but maybe you find you don't watch as much, and continue feasting on testimonies. I'll share another link with you today in the description to more testimonies from previous negativity fasts in the past. And take some time and try this soaking in God's presence. Being still, taking, 15 minutes maybe. Take and put yourself in a place of not doing anything, not looking at your phone, not looking at the computer, not doing anything, but just being still. Put on some worship music and just engage with God for just a few minutes. Try doing that at least once a day during this fast and watch what happens. Okay. I bless you with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to know the truth. I bless you with a great day, and I will see you back here again tomorrow. Bye.